This is Laura Walker, Art with a Soul.
And I'm Cindy Phillips, Gentle Rain Yoga.
We thought maybe we would come on here and discuss what we're envisioning for the weekend art retreat, the Yoga and Art Weekend Art Retreat that's coming up in November, and we have our first payment due at the end of August. So, do you want to start?
Sure, where should we start? Well, let's see, the first payment deadline is to pay a $250 deposit by August 30th, and that will let us put down a deposit on the room or chalet that you want to stay in if you're staying on site with us. You're
Which
welcome.
is at Gunnersville
Lake
State Park.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful location too. It's going to be a great place for a retreat. So we could still take registrations after that point, but the cost of the lodging will probably go up because we're getting closer to the event date. So if you know or you're pretty certain that you want to join us, then go ahead and get your deposit in to us by the end of the month. And we're really hoping that this is going to be a really restorative, relaxing weekend for you. So we want to kind of dispel anything, any fears, anything that might be causing anxiety for you. And the first thing I think is some people may have done yoga but have never done art, or they don't consider themselves creative, or maybe people are into art but they've never tried yoga. We are doing our best to make all of the activities beginner friendly. So don't have any worries about whether or not you feel like an expert in either yoga or art.
Yeah, I'll be posting a video of one of the paintings soon. And the hardest part of it is drawing a straight line, which we're going to do with a piece of paper. So I want the drawing skills to be very minimal on these paintings that we're doing. We have just 2 art sessions because Cindy and I figured we needed longer blocks of time to do the art, and then she has worked in shorter blocks of time. Well, not 3 hours, you know, like an hour, sometimes some smaller times for the yoga. So we're both really trying to focus on making it accessible for beginners, but I'm also thinking of how people who are more advanced can add to the painting and make it more detailed while all at the same time.
And with the yoga sessions, there's a lot that's within the realm of yoga. People tend to think of just the physical postures, like a downward facing dog or a warrior pose, and that's part of it, but also learning to focus and concentrate so that you can learn how to quiet and still your mind, learning how to meditate, learning different breathing practices, chanting mantra, which creates vibrations in the body, in the sinuses, and throughout the chest cavity, is really healing. So there'll be a lot of different things other than just physical postures that you can do just sitting in a chair. So I do have some clients who will probably be sitting in a chair for all of the practices we do, or standing next to a chair. So if you need that to make it accessible, that will be available to you. And then I'll also try to work in some more challenging things for those who want to challenge themselves more, or just bringing in different practices that even my regular clientele who practice with me a lot maybe have not tried yet, that I haven't brought into classes. So
I've taken yoga from Cindy like pretty much the whole time she's been teaching, and she's very good at telling what the different levels of a pose are, how to modify. I've taken with a torn meniscus and bone-on-bone knee, and recovering from knee surgery, and before that when I was real sassy, and now when I'm getting back to sassy. And she's very good at helping with those different levels of ability. And I have taught art classes from 3-year-olds up to, you know, people in their 70s and 80s. So I've taught a lot of art classes, and I feel like I can also help all the different levels. So that's one of the main concerns people have expressed.
Yeah. So even if you don't feel like you're very creative, Laura is going to walk you through a really beautiful couple of projects. So you will go home with a couple of really nice paintings that you can enjoy and be proud of. And so I think we've covered that. Beginners through advanced people. So the scheduling, we've come up with a tentative schedule. We've blocked out when the art projects will be and when we'll hold different yoga and meditation sessions. And just keep in mind that it's all offerings, okay? So we want you to relax and enjoy your weekend. And if one of the sessions just doesn't appeal to you, feel free to spend the time doing something else. Maybe you like to go to bed really early, so you don't want to do the last session of the evening because it's too late. That's fine. You're not required to attend everything. Maybe you're on an afternoon hike and you're really in your Zen place and it's creating anxiety, the thought of trying to get back for the next yoga session. Well, that's fine. Your yoga for that afternoon might be being in the woods. Being in nature is a very healing place. So we just want you to come and enjoy whatever is there that is resonating for you.
Specifically, we had people ask about Sunday morning. Cindy is offering a meditative yoga yoga class that you are welcome to come to, or if you prefer, you can find a local place to go worship. I'll be going to worship, so we just want the weekend to be spent in a way that encourages you and helps nourish your soul.
Absolutely.
Let's see. Clothing.
Yes.
Clothing. We ladies. It doesn't have to just be ladies, but I know we ladies always like to know. We want to be prepared for the clothing. Just wear comfortable clothes. This is what Cindy wore today to teach in. We're not, like, she has not made her yoga studio to be a place that's real expensive clothing oriented. Like, it's not so much about fashion as it is just comfort and function.
Right. Well, really, yoga is not a performance. There's no need to feel like you have to look a certain way or dress a certain way. Wear what you can move comfortably and freely in. So that might be sweatpants, it might be gym shorts. I bought a couple of pairs of pants and added some elastic around the bottom of the legs because I wanted to have, tighter at the bottom, but they're kind of stretchy and blousy at the top. So just, whatever. I would suggest consider layering. Maybe a tank top, a t-shirt, and then a long sleeve of some sort on top. Because if you build up heat and you want to take off a layer, then you have that option. Or if it's chilly to you, you can add something else on.
Socks are very important. In my yoga practice, my feet get cold, and it'll be in November.
That time of year, might want to make sure you have some nice cozy socks.
And what we're wearing to yoga, just wear it to art class. We are working with watercolors. They are much easier to remove from clothing than acrylics are. So you should be fine. Just be comfortable. Just whatever feels comfy for you. We have also had questions. Do you have anything else to add to that before we move on?
Well, just that think of the other activities you might want to participate in. So if you plan to go to church, whatever you normally wear to church, bring that along. Hiking, so if you have some hiking boots or sneakers you like to wear for that. And there is a zip line. I haven't checked on the timing. That should be available, I think.
I think you can reserve that ahead of time. I don't know how far ahead of time you have to.
And there's, of course, we're on the lake, so I think there are places you can go to rent boats.
And we were talking about people bringing a blanket to the yoga class just to leave in the class.
Right. So I'll be providing bolsters and some blankets, and I'll have yoga mats for those that don't have one. So if you're a beginner and you don't own a mat yet, don't worry about that. I'll have one for you. But if you do already have a yoga mat or blocks or things you know you use regularly in your practice, go ahead and bring those. And it would be a good idea, we thought, if everybody brought a blanket. I will have some blankets, but just something to cover up with if we're lying still. A couple of the practices are really still practices, and you might get chilly, so whatever you like to snuggle up in.
Yeah, so you covered that. Oh, and for my supplies, I will be bringing everything you need for the art. I'm really focusing on showing how watercolors can be done with the bare minimum: the paper, 3 brushes, and some, a couple paint colors. So I'll have all of that there. If you do paint and you know you love your watercolor brushes, you are welcome to bring them. You can go fancier. You don't have to be simpler. It's fine. We have had people ask about bringing their partner, bringing their spouse with them who doesn't want to do the classes. That's fine. You share your room however you want to share your room. There will be time of free time scheduled into the weekend where y'all could spend together. Every meal you can be together. Of course, the evenings, just that person doesn't need to pay the $250 deposit. Only the people taking classes pay that deposit. So again, we just want it to be an enjoyable weekend for you.
Yeah. And so there's multiple options for meals as well.
Oh yeah.
There is a restaurant in the lodge, and we've structured the schedule so that there are free blocks of time around those when they have the restaurant open. So that's one option for you. You could also drive down into Gunnersville and enjoy any number of restaurants down there. And you could have food in your room. The lodge rooms have a microwave, a mini fridge, and a coffee maker. So as long as you keep it somewhat simple, you can make sandwiches or heat up some soup or things like that. And the chalets, if you go that route, they have a full kitchen. So you have an oven, stove, full refrigerator, and a microwave and coffee maker. So you could go all out if you wanted to cook meals.
And I believe the 2 chalets that we have left available are both pet friendly. So you can bring your spouse, you can bring your dog if you want to. All the comforts of home.
Yes.
Any other things you think we should address? Whenever people ask me things, I'm trying to post them. We have an event page on both of our Facebook pages, and then we both are posting to Instagram. I post also to LinkedIn. Any questions you guys ask, we're available. We will address them.
That's all I can really think of right now.
All right.
Yeah.
We hope you guys will join us. This is such a special, exciting thing Cindy and I talked about for years, and finally one day I said, we could do it together. Art and yoga, they go together real well. And boy, Cindy, she decided, let's get this done. So here we are doing it.
Yep.
And we're very excited. We think it's going to be such a beautiful weekend.
I'm so looking forward to it. Fall in Alabama is a beautiful season.
Yeah.
So I think
Lake Gunnersville.
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
Okay.
So
Thank you.
Thanks.